You didn't stumble upon this message by coincidence. Something greater intercepted your path. Heaven paused your scroll, silenced the noise of your day, and whispered, "Wait, don't go there." Because right now, you are standing at a crossroads that could change everything. There's a reason the doors you wanted so badly haven't opened. A reason the timing keeps slipping through your fingers. What feels like delay is not denial. It's divine protection. You see, not every open door is from God. Some are disguised setups, crafted to look like opportunities, but designed to drain your purpose. Proverbs 14:12 warns us clearly, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way to death." That uneasy feeling in your spirit, that quiet tug that something is off even when everything looks right, that's not fear. That's discernment awakening inside you. God is holding you back because He sees what you can't. He's intercepting a path that appears peaceful but is poisoned with distraction. You call it resistance. Heaven calls it rescue. And maybe deep down you felt it. The confusion, the pause, the unexpected silence after a moment of excitement. You thought something was wrong with you. But the truth is, God is defending you from a trap tailor-made for your emotions, your desires, even your prayers. The enemy's tactic isn't always destruction. It's distraction wrapped in beauty, timing, and false peace. This message is your wake-up call. Heaven is sounding the alarm. God is stepping between you and something that would have cost your peace, your clarity, maybe even your destiny. What feels like rejection is protection. What seems like loss is preservation. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. So don't move too fast. Don't say yes just because it looks good. Pause, breathe, and listen. Because when God holds you back, it's not to break you, it's to build you. He's not closing a door to hurt you. He's closing it to keep your purpose pure. Stay with me, because in the next part, you'll see the truth behind why the enemy always sends the counterfeit before the real thing. Before every real blessing, there comes a counterfeit. It's not a coincidence, it's strategy. The enemy studies your patterns, your prayers, your desires, and then crafts an imitation so convincing that even your emotions can't tell the difference. It looks right, feels right, and even sounds like something God would send. But beneath its glow lies a snare designed to detour your destiny. The word says in 2 Corinthians 11:14, "And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light." That's how deception works. It doesn't come with horns and fire. It comes dressed as peace, timing, and favor. The counterfeit door always opens first. The wrong relationship shows up before the right one. The imitation blessing arrives before the true one is ready. It's bait wrapped in beauty. And if you move too fast, you'll trade destiny for distraction. Maybe you've been there, an opportunity that seemed perfect until your peace began to fade. A connection that felt divine until your spirit grew uneasy. That wasn't random. That was heaven warning you. Because when God isn't in something, your peace will leave before your eyes ever see the danger. The trap doesn't announce itself. It blends in. It calls itself alignment, while quietly pulling you out of position. It offers comfort, but demands compromise. It looks like favor, but feels like fatigue. And when it's all over, you realize it didn't bless you. It drained you. But here's the good news. If you're feeling tension in your spirit right now, it means heaven has already intervened. God is exposing what your heart didn't want to admit. He's pulling back the curtain before you walk into the wrong room. He's not letting you settle for what glitters when you were made for what's gold. The The enemy doesn't need to destroy your calling. He only needs to distract you long enough for you to miss it. That's why discernment is not optional. It's survival. The stirring in your soul is not paranoia, it's protection. Heaven is whispering, wait, look again. Because the truth is, before the real thing arrives, the fake always comes first. And in that moment of confusion, your greatest weapon isn't speed, it's stillness. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll uncover how even God's delays are strategic, and why His no is often the doorway to your greatest protection. It's easy to mistake silence for neglect, to think that when heaven doesn't respond, heaven doesn't care. But what if the delay was never a punishment? It was mercy wearing the mask of time. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every plan that crumbled right before it began. Those weren't denials. They were divine interceptions. Think of Joseph, betrayed, imprisoned, forgotten. From the outside, it looked like failure. But heaven was setting the stage for purpose. Had Joseph escaped the prison too soon, he would have missed the palace. What looked like delay was actually direction. And think of Jesus in the wilderness. Satan didn't tempt him with darkness, but with appeal. Turn these stones to bread. The offer seemed harmless, even logical. But Jesus resisted because discernment isn't guided by hunger, it's anchored in truth. That's what God is teaching you now. He's not trying to limit you, He's trying to preserve you. Psalm 121:7 declares, "The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul." Preservation means God steps in where your vision ends. He blocks the path that would have looked right, felt peaceful, and even seemed like destiny, but wasn't. Sometimes, He allows you to feel the weight of waiting so you don't feel the pain of destruction. That's the mercy in the delay. When the door doesn't open, it's not rejection. It's a redirection that saves you from walking into a beautifully disguised disaster. The truth is, your waiting season is where God rewrites your instincts. He teaches your spirit to pause before leaping, to listen before longing. Because discernment is born in stillness, not in haste. Every "not yet" is heaven whispering, you're not being denied, you're being refined. So don't despise the delay. Behind every divine pause is a purpose your emotions can't yet see. You think you're waiting on God, but God is waiting on you to grow, to see, to trust. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll explore what happens when God's no becomes the very shield that saves your destiny, and how that single word can be the most powerful act of love He ever gives you. There's a pain that cuts deeper than failure, the sting of no. The job you didn't get, the person who walked away, the plan that collapsed when it was finally coming together. You prayed, you fasted, you believed, and still, heaven closed the door. It's easy to call that rejection. But what if the rejection was actually redirection? What if God's no was the most merciful yes you never saw coming? Here's the truth. God's denial is never random. It's surgical. He knows when something that looks like favor is actually a setup in disguise. That's why sometimes the opportunity fades just as your excitement peaks. Because heaven saw what your heart refused to. The conversation you didn't hear, the motive you couldn't discern, the consequence you couldn't imagine. God saw it all and said, "Not this one." He's not trying to punish you. He's trying to protect you. Jeremiah 17:9 warns us, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" Sometimes what feels right emotionally is wrong spiritually. The enemy knows how to package destruction in divine wrapping, an appealing job, a charming person, an almost perfect opportunity. But if peace disappears, that's your cue. It's not from God. Rejection, then, isn't loss. It's a holy rescue. It's the unseen hand of God pulling you out of what would have drained your faith, diluted your focus, and disguised your purpose. The very thing you're grieving might be the thing that saved your soul. He's saying, I know it looked good, but it would have taken you away from me. Think of it. The doors that didn't open kept you from the wars you weren't meant to fight. The friendships that ended saved you from betrayals that would have broken you. The almost blessings that slipped away, they weren't meant to bless you. They were sent to test your discernment. So praise Him not just for the yes, but for the no. Because every no is an act of love that rewrites your future. Every closed door is heaven whispering, I'm not withholding, I'm protecting. And this truth leads us to something even deeper. The realization that discernment isn't just guidance, it's survival. When you learn to recognize His no, you begin to live free from the traps that others never saw coming. Discernment is not a gift for the elite. It's a lifeline for the chosen. It's how heaven whispers before the fall, how God guards your path long before danger arrives. In a world filled with voices promising peace, power, and purpose, discernment is your defense. Because not every blessing that glitters was sent to build you. Some were sent to break you. The enemy doesn't always show up with fear. Sometimes he shows up with favor. He's not trying to frighten you. He's trying to entice you. His strategy isn't destruction, it's distraction. If he can't defeat you through darkness, he'll deceive you through light. That's why discernment isn't about suspicion, it's about spiritual intelligence. It's the Holy Spirit sharpening your senses to recognize the counterfeit before it calls you chosen. You've probably felt it before. That sudden loss of peace. The relationship that once felt aligned but now feels heavy. The opportunity that once felt exciting but now breeds confusion. Those aren't coincidences, they're alerts. Heaven's way of saying, step back, look again. Because discernment is God's early warning system. It catches danger dressed as destiny. It exposes manipulation behind a smile and selfish motives behind what looks like love. 1 Corinthians 14:33 reminds us, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. If your peace is gone, that's your signal. Something is off. When the Holy Spirit stirs unease in your heart, He's not condemning you. He's covering you. Every hesitation is holy. Every pause is protection. Every, I don't feel right about this, is the Spirit defending your destiny. Because the trap only works when your feelings move faster than your faith. This is why God trains His chosen ones to pause, pray, and perceive before they proceed. When discernment rules your decisions, you no longer need to experience destruction to recognize danger. You can walk away before it breaks you. And once you begin living this way, something shifts. You stop chasing what looks good and start waiting for what is good. You stop trusting the noise around you and start trusting the whisper within you. In the next part, you'll see how this awakening, this sharpening of spiritual sight, is not rejection, but realignment. Because when God pulls you away, it's never backwards. It's toward a higher assignment. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when what once felt right starts to feel wrong. When the rooms that once felt safe begin to suffocate you. And the people who once understood you no longer recognize your spirit. It's not confusion, it's realignment. Heaven is pulling you out of what no longer fits, because what's next requires a new version of you. This is where it gets hard, because divine separation often looks like loss. You might wonder, why is God taking things away from me? But He isn't taking them away to punish you. He's removing what can't grow with you. What feels like isolation is really insulation. God's setting you apart to strengthen what He's placed within you. Remember this truth. The enemy sends counterfeits to delay you, but God allows disruption to develop you. The discomfort you feel isn't rejection, it's preparation. Heaven is pruning your path, cutting off distractions disguised as destiny. John 15:2 says, "Every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes, that it may bear more fruit." You're being pruned not because you failed, but because you're fruitful. Sometimes, God's favor looks like a forced goodbye. The friendship that faded, the job that ended, the opportunity that dissolved, none of them were accidents. They were filters. Because before God elevates you, He isolates you. Before He promotes you, He purifies you. He removes the noise so you can finally hear His voice again. You may not realize it yet, but you're outgrowing what used to sustain you. The conversations that once fed your confidence now drain your focus. The environments that once inspired you now cloud your peace. That's because you're stepping into a higher assignment, and higher altitudes require lighter loads. So when God pulls you back, don't fight it. Trust it. His pullback is preparation, not punishment. You are not being pushed out, you're being called up. The realignment feels heavy only because you're shedding what's not coming with you. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into what this growth looks like when heaven matures your discernment. When the veil finally lifts, and what once deceived you can no longer touch you. There comes a turning point when your spirit stops reacting and starts recognizing. When what once confused you now becomes clear. When the same voices that used to persuade you can no longer move you. That's not arrogance. It's growth. You've stepped into spiritual maturity, and discernment has evolved into revelation. In this season, heaven is sharpening your sight. The illusions that once sparkled now reveal their cracks. The flattery that once felt affirming now feels hollow. The opportunities that once looked like favor now trigger a quiet unease within you. This is not regression, it's revelation. You're no longer moved by appearances because you've learned that peace is the truest proof of God's presence. Jesus said in John 10:27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." That's where you are now. You're learning to recognize His voice, not in thunder, but in stillness. Not through pressure, but through peace. The strange pause in your spirit, that's not hesitation. It's heaven whispering, "Wait, this one's not from me." Discernment is no longer just protection. It's perception. You can now sense manipulation before it masks itself in kindness. You can feel spiritual dissonance even in polite conversations. The counterfeit doesn't need to reveal itself because your spirit already knows. This is what divine maturity looks like. You no longer need 10 confirmations. Peace alone is enough. And as your discernment matures, so does your responsibility. Because clarity without obedience leads to confusion. When God gives you revelation, He expects you to respond, to walk away when peace leaves, to release what no longer aligns, to trust the whisper even when it costs you comfort. That's why some things that once excited you now feel heavy. Some places you used to fit now feel foreign. You're being recalibrated for something purer, stronger, and higher. The Spirit is upgrading your vision so that you no longer chase what shines. You wait for what glows with truth. You are being prepared to walk through the next door, not with emotion, but with insight. The veil is lifting. What deceived you before will no longer find entry, because revelation has replaced reaction. And in the final part, we'll seal this transformation with a sacred prayer, a moment to align your heart fully with God's will, thanking Him not just for what He gave, but for everything He withheld in love. Take a deep breath. You've made it through the storm of confusion, through the quiet tests of waiting, through the ache of divine separation. And now, as this revelation settles in your spirit, heaven extends an invitation, not to understand everything, but to surrender to what God is doing. This is your moment of alignment. Not the alignment of convenience, but of calling. God isn't just rearranging your life. He's recalibrating your heart. He's teaching you to trust His no as deeply as you celebrate His yes, because now you see it. Every interruption was a form of protection. Every delay, a sign of direction. Every closed door, a shield around your purpose. You're not being held back, you're being held together. Every time you felt overlooked, heaven was guarding you from a war you weren't meant to fight. Every person who walked away was part of a holy filtering. Every unanswered prayer was a divine pause designed to keep your destiny intact. So, let's enter this prayer together. Father in heaven, sovereign and holy, thank you for every interruption that rescued me from deception. Thank you for every delay that developed me, for every closed door that protected me, for every no that saved my soul. Lord, sharpen my discernment. Let your Spirit speak louder than my emotions. Let peace be my compass and your word be my guide. If you're not in it, I don't want it. Teach me to walk away from every counterfeit, no matter how beautiful it looks. Give me courage to wait for what is truly yours. Let Isaiah 30:21 echo in my spirit. And your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Father, refine my heart. Let your will override my wants, your timing overrule my plans. I trust you with the doors you open, and I praise you for the ones you close. This isn't just a prayer, it's a declaration. You're no longer chasing noise, you're following the whisper. You're no longer driven by emotion, you're guided by discernment. And as you walk forward, know this: the next thing God sends will not come with confusion, exhaustion, or compromise. It will come with clarity, peace, and divine alignment. You've been preserved for purpose. You've been pruned for purity. You've been positioned for elevation. What's next will not be almost right. It will be ordained. So walk slowly, love wisely, and move only when peace walks beside you. Because when God says no, He's not closing a door. He's opening a better one that hell itself can't touch.